Hello everyone, Joanne with StampingInTheValley.com and welcome to my craft room. After my last video and using the Stamparatus with my little apple, I had to create a card. And this is what I came up with. How sweet is this with our apples? And you make me smile and our little confetti. So this is what we're going to do. I've got two of them ready over here already. And we're going to make the red one here. And this is our envelope. And I use the confetti. First, if you order from me, or if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber or a downline of mine, these are the 2 free card kits for the month of September. Please check the video out below. It'll tell you all about this and about how to put them together. Also, one other note, I have 1 paper share left. Okay, so let me get that and show that to you. This is the paper share. It's mailed priority and it's packaged like this. Each individual one is in these beautiful bags with the name and what you get inside. 6 6x6 sheets of the wrapped in plaid. Okay, and there's Night Before Christmas, Feels Like Frost. Every one of them are individually packaged. Come Together, Brightly Gleaming, and this I love here because this is a red and green. Toil Tidings, Monster Bash. You do get 1 piece of Red Glimmer, and then the Let It Snow specialty also. So these are all the papers that you get in the share. Like I said, this is the only one that I have left. It's $37.50. The shipping is free. And so just email me at joannemaddie@outlook.com if you would like that last paper share. If you're a new customer of mine, you will receive a new annual catalog with 6 6x6 sheets of designer series paper that is retired in here for you to start to craft with, and also a free holiday catalog. This finally launches on September 4th, and the Harvest Hellos is in it. And from my last video, I showed you how to line everything up. And I had to make a little card. I thought the apples were so sweet. So I thought I'd just jump back on here because it's Labor Day and I have the day off, and make another video for us. So as I didn't even move this from the last video. I am still lined up. Remember, I put all of my little pieces in here and lined them up. And of course, you can trade this apple out for your pumpkin here if you want to. But one of the major things too in my last video that I needed to tell you is that every time you stamp, make sure that this piece is exactly where you had it. See, I was off a little bit and I got some ink on my template, which is fine, but I did stamp something wrong. So let's just go ahead and stamp this. Tuxedo Memento black ink, just like that. And let me just close the door and stamp. Oh, comes out perfect, and you can't mess it up even though the door fell, right? It is perfectly lined up. I love that. So, whew, yay. And this is just perfect. So we're going to take this out and do a little coloring. There it is. And I'm going to keep this template. Let me get this Stamparatus out of the way. These magnets are, wow, they are wild, right? They're very, very strong. Okay, so what we want to do here is color with I did with our blends. I used my dark crumb cake for the stem. And see, you can keep this right on here and color it, or you can punch them out and color it. It doesn't matter. However you want to do it. I'm just going to keep it on here to save a little time, because I know that this is orientated to my punch, which is right here. So I didn't think I was going to do a part 1 and a part 2 video, but it kind of worked out that way, right? So this I want to do a red delicious apple. So I'm going to use my light cherry cobbler first. I want a nice red delicious apple. You know, sometimes when I don't feel like eating an apple, I like that Snapple that is apple flavored. It's not a tea, and it tastes, I swear guys, you got to taste it. It tastes just like you are biting into a red delicious. So Snapple Apple. I really recommend that. So I'm just going to come around with my light cherry cobbler, getting my edges good. Alright, now we're going to color inside. And I just take my marker and go around. Now, Stampin' Up! Is kind enough to kind of show us where the shading should go, and that's where those dark lines are. As I'm doing this video, guys, I have been watching the Weather Channel, and just prayers to everyone in the Bahamas. Wow, that is just devastating. Now I'm taking my dark cherry cobbler, and prayers to everyone in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, because they're really not sure what this thing is doing. And I'm just going over those two dark areas, and then I'm going to come back in with my light cherry cobbler, and I'm going to blend this out. So I just kind of use a little circular motion in here, and take my color, kind of pushing it out of that area, and into more of the apple. Storms are so devastating. You know, you just really never know what they're going to do, how they're going to go, who they're going to affect. Are you doing the right thing by leaving? Are you doing the right thing by staying? Are you, you know, I just such anguish for these poor people. So my prayers go out to you guys. Okay, there's our red apple. And let's go ahead now, and I'm going to move this aside in my stamp box. And we're going to bring in our base. Now, our base is thick Whisper White. I like to use thick as the card base. And it's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So it opens like this. My outside piece, this is Mango Melody, and I thought it looked fantastic with those other colors. I ran it through our brick embossing folder. I love this embossing folder. Love the brick and the wood planks, and you know, you can always do something with one of those. So this piece is 5 1/4 by 4 and ran through that embossing folder. Then I used our Stitched Nest Labels dies. I used the very teeny tiniest little one to put this Give Thanks on. Isn't that cute? So, and that is right here in this stamp set, Give Thanks. And then I did You Make Me Smile. I love that. Just love it. Okay, let's get two tiny dimensionals and place these on the back of the Give Thanks. I'm just doing that and going to put this aside first. And then we will get to assembling everything. Here we go. Okay, now here, because it's embossed, let's use some Tombow. Let's use some liquid glue. And look at how those bricks, it's called brick and mortar. And some of them stick out a little bit more than the others. And then you can use the other side where there's recessed. But I'm going to use the part that sticks out. So when you emboss, it all depends on what side you like. It doesn't matter on some of these embossing folders. Fun, fun. I'm going to place this, oops, let's get that envelope out of there. I'm going to place this on this card front and leaving my nice white border around. And I'm going to let that Tombow take hold right there. Love that. Now I'm going to take my Give Thanks and I'm going to place that right up here in this corner. Just like that. Now let's go ahead and do the inside, and I'm going to use a little Mango Melody with that. And our little saying, You Make Me Smile. Because of course whenever I'm home and crafting, I'm smiling all the way, let me tell you. I'm working so hard, guys, to get retired at 62. Working really hard at it. And then I could put more time into this crafting, and that is seriously where my heart is. I have to admit that. Now, to finish the inside of the card, we're going to open some Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, and Cherry Cobbler. And then we're going to use our little squiggles. This little happy little squiggle right here. And I'm going to put them, let's see, let me get in camera here. There we go. Down in this corner and up in this corner. So first I'm going to use my cherry cobbler, and I'm going to go at an angle in the corners. I did flip that around so the larger curve is facing in, just like that curve is facing in. Now as I continue, I'm going to go ahead and do my envelope. And I want the larger curve always sticking out or up. And so there's our cherry cobbler. Let me get my chamois. Clean that off, and we'll go into the Granny Apple Green. Okay, let's bring our envelope back in, and we'll go right into this Granny Apple Green, and I'm just going to, you know, put that to the side just a little bit, and here it's going to go straight up and down. And now the inside of the card back again. And here, again, on the bottom, I'm going to do it straight up and down. And over here, I'm just going to turn it. Let it come that way. Right? A little something different. Just positioning makes it look so whimsical. Now we're going to use Daffodil Delight. And here we go. And right here on the bottom. And I just angled that a little bit. And isn't that a nice little trio? And then up on the top, I turned it around, and I'm going to angle it more straight down so that we have a nice little trio of confetti, curly cues, whatever you want to call that. Just cute. Same thing here. Yep. Put our larger part on the top, but if we did it the other way, it wouldn't hurt. It's just fun. And angle that one out just a little bit. Good. So there we go with that. Now, let me close this ink up, because you know how that can become. And we're going to punch out our apples. Let me get my little Pick Quick tool. And I use this off of the tool. Let me show you the whole entire tool while we're at it, okay? So here's the tool. And this screws into here. I don't use the putty a whole lot. And I have a paper piercing tool that I use a whole lot, so I really use the spatula on this an immense amount of times. And then I keep this detached because somehow or another, when I go to put this on here, I constantly dispense that sticky stuff. And I don't want to do that. So I just use it like this. And I found that this is wonderful. So let's move that card in there. And let's put our red apple in here. And I'm just going to take off my tip here, because these were just scraps of Whisper White. So then I move this around, and I almost find with me not having a large handle on here, I have a little bit more control to me it is. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I seem to get it quite well. That's perfect. So that's one. And look how much we've maximized paper. Isn't that fun? So let's get this one. And again, I do use my punch, and I just kind of get it down a little bit just to touch it, to get it where I need to position things around a little bit better so that I get a better punch. Let's see, whoop. We'll take our time here. Here we go. Just want that in there right. Okay. All right, like that. There's that. And now I did a yellow apple. So we have a Golden Delicious, a Granny Smith, and a Golden Delicious. How's that? Just watching what I'm doing here. Take your time when you do something like this, but know that you are perfectly lined up because of that template. Perfect. Oh no, it jumped. Okay. I will need to make another one of those. Let's see. Can we? Let me save what I can. All right, it jumped and I squeezed, and as you can see, I cut the apple. So that is not good. But we'll go ahead and we'll make this with 2. We'll go ahead and just make 2 apples, okay? Just like that. Still gonna look great. Now let's get some leaves out here and some stems, and we'll move all of this other aside. Okay, and some glue dots. On the last video, I used some Tombow, but this I'm going to just use some glue dots. It's just faster. So I want my green leaf to attach onto my stem, and then this whole little element here, put the glue dot on the front of it, and it's going to attach to the back of the apple, like this. And then you can maneuver that so that they both pop up. Isn't that cute? Adorable. Okay, let's do that again. So the leaf will attach to the stem with a glue dot. With a glue dot. I didn't pick it up. And then the front of the leaf gets a glue dot to attach to the back of the apple. And I'm just going to manipulate that just like that. So that's adorable, even with 2 apples. And that's cute. Okay, flip them over. Now we're going to use some dimensionals. And I really believe 3 will be enough on each. Put 1 down there and 2 up here. And then we'll attach our red apple on top. And our Granny Smith apple on the bottom right here. Cute. Okay, 2 different ways by accident to do this card just by eliminating 1 apple. They're both adorable. I love the little yellow one. I'll probably make another one and add it in there. I really will. I hated that it just slipped out of my hand and I squeezed it and it bit it. So we will just put that in file 13, but be happy for both of these cards today. Thank you for stopping by and crafting with me for a little while on Labor Day Monday. I'm very happy to be home and be in this craft room with you guys. Thanks again for watching and happy crafting.